Our next presenter will talk about multi-platform social media strategy. He says they're everywhere, not just two, navigating Instagram, Pinterest, Vine, YouTube, and LinkedIn. We now have Robin Leonard, CEO of AllFamous Digital. Just a quick profile on Robin Leonard. He has had a great deal of experience in social and the technology game. Robin's vision is to be the leader in driving measurable ROI from online and social. The value proposition is achieved by breaking out of traditional marketing paradigms and understanding how the internet is evolving faster than we ever imagined. His specialties are into social media marketing, e-commerce, online strategy, CRM, among others. He has worked with IBM Philippines and partnered with Salesforce.com Marketing Cloud. For Robin, content is the currency of social internet. He watches lots of TED. He's a graduate of Auckland University of Technology. Ladies and gentlemen, Robin Leonard.
So you guys have been here all day. I'm sure you've seen a lot of great presenters. Can I ask everyone to please stand up? Everyone, please stand up. Okay, you need to put down anything that you're holding. I didn't really anticipate this was going to be a movie theater. Okay, is everyone ready? All right, so just like you guys, I'm a little bit sleepy. So I'm going to ask you guys to do something a little bit energetic to wake up. All right, can I get everyone to do star jumps with me? Don't give me that face. I know you want to do it. All right, ready? 1. Come on. All right, I'm going to count you down. 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Everyone, 8, 9, 10. Woo! All right, that's it. You can sit down now. Thank you. Whew, I'm a bit sweaty now. All right, so today I'm going to talk to you about multi-channel social media marketing. I'm not going to cover all of the social networks, just a few of them. We already know about Facebook and Twitter, and I hope you already know about Google+. I'm not covering that today. If you don't know about Google+, you should be into it. So today I'm really going to cover Instagram, Pinterest, Vine, YouTube, and LinkedIn. So, our problem, every marketer's problem in this day and age is how do I select the right channel? There's just so many to choose from these days, right? So, and of course it's an investment, right? Where are you getting your ROI? I've been working in the Philippines for 4 years now. I've been running my business for 2 years. So I know that every CMO is asking the same question still, where is the ROI in social? And it's even hard to get people to invest in Facebook, even though, you know, Philippines is such a huge Facebook-using country. So how do you get your CMOs or your CEOs to say, yes, let's do Vine as well? I mean, it seems like a bit of a stretch. But there are some really good case studies. So this problem that we all face, we have to ask ourselves a few questions. You know, what are my objectives? Am I seeking brand awareness? Am I seeking online sales? Am I seeking loyalty? Am I seeking customer advocacy? You know, there are a lot of things that we all look to achieve. I think generally, well, at least in this market, when I talk to marketers, I always talk about sales because that's kind of where the rubber hits the road. So that's what I'm going to be talking about, well, a little bit. The other thing you have to consider is where are my customers? Where do they sit? Do Filipinos use these channels? And that's why Facebook is a bit of a given, because we all know Filipinos love Facebook. But you know, what about these other ones? And also, what do my customers enjoy? What are they really interested in hearing from me about? Which can be challenging, right? If you're an insurance brand, what do you talk about? You know, what's interesting around insurance? So the way I approach social and online marketing is it's always a funnel for me. Even if the end game of your funnel is someone going into a store, you know, you've still got to be driving people down towards buying something from you at the end of the day. So that's where we kind of get into this complexity. As you see, there's a lot of different channels that we can choose. You know, there's a huge number of channels. I've listed about, I think, 10 or 12 here, but there's another 50 more, and there's more growing every day. So how do we bring these into the mix? How do we select them? So I've kind of categorized, this is my opinion, this isn't necessarily correct. So this is how I typically apply some of these more major channels in terms of B2B versus B2C. So this isn't 100% correct. So say LinkedIn, right? B2C, sometimes you use it for recruitment. So it can be a B2C channel, but not a B2C direct channel. But yeah, things like Quora, SlideShare are typically very B2B type social networks. You've got the kind of the core ones in the middle, like Facebook, Twitter, Google+, Instagram, etc. And then you've got the more focused B2C, like Vine. Vine's kind of like Instagram now, actually. But Tumblr is very much a consumer channel. MySpace, does anyone use MySpace? I don't. Oh, we've got one. Okay, good. It's actually cool. I like the new layout, right? It's really awesome. Yeah, I haven't found the search feature there. I tried it. I really tried to get back into it. You know, I'm a fan of Justin Timberlake. What can I say? All right, so this is a little drawing I did the other day. I was a bit drunk. But it's the same concept, right? I don't know if you can see it very clearly. I'm not a great artist, but this is how I see it. You've got your funnel. You've got your inbound machine, right? Your inbound machine is like all of the stuff that you do, all of the activities that you proactively do. So this may be email marketing, it may be Facebook, it may be Twitter, it may be, you know, whatever it is. All of these channels that you put effort and investment into to get results. So it's kind of got clouds and thunder. So those are leads. We're driving leads down this channel. On the left side, the little cloud, that's your organic traffic. And so we see a really cool relationship between organic and your inbound activities, where your organic grows. So I've got this little like chain pulling it that way. So more and more, the more effort you expend on your inbound machine, the more organic result you should get. And then you've got this little tap down the bottom. So the tap is, that's your paid. So the more you turn that up, the more traffic you get from that. It's a very simplistic way of looking at it. And then people hit your landing page, and they either convert or they don't. And the beauty of this is also numbers oriented. So I just want you guys to keep this in mind, because when you're selecting channels, you should always be thinking about ROI. You should never be thinking, but it's just cool, because it's always about making money. My glasses are starting to fog up. That's right, they're fashion glasses anyway, they don't do anything. All right, so that was just a bit of a preamble. Now I'm going to go into each of the channels, and I'm just going to step through them. Because my throat is a bit croaky, I'm going to show you a fair few videos, which should be more entertaining than me. So let's start with Instagram. Can I get a show of hands who uses Instagram here? Wow, that's a lot of people. That's cool, okay. All right, I'll play this video.
Look at this Instagram, expanded inside of ham. Started out as a lemon tart, then my phone went and made it art.
And these are my fingernails, the beauties and the details. Drinking my ties on a cruise, just a coincidence, it's also boobs.
Everyone look at my feet, get jealous that I'm at the beach. Probably knew I was going there. You saw my plane swing in the air.
Are you bored of city lights? Try seeing them in black and white. Putting glasses on a cat, I'm the first one to think of that. Oh, oh, oh. He thinks he's people.
Every time I take a photo of an old door, every sign out in front of an abandoned store, it's such a thrill to add a filter. Lo-fi, lo-fi. Every time a thing reminds me of a penis, every fortune cookie fortune that I've ever seen is on my feet. It's guaranteed with 5 likes, 5 likes. and Michelangelo.
Fireworks in the sky, a super close up of my eye. Now a selfie looking cute in the same room where I poop.
Sometimes I just wanna browse 100,000 pics of clouds. Hang on, I need to get this stuck. Hold still, goddammit, fuck. Whoa, no, it's so blurry. No, you haven't really ever seen a setting sun until you see it on the screen while you play Temple Run. I'm so hell-bent on documenting peach pie, peach pie. Think it's bad now, wait until I'm 33. So many pictures of my kids, you wanna murder me. Miss that first steps, cause I'm obsessed with red eye, red eye.
Thank you. Just get straps up. All right, so, okay. I won't explain this to you because you guys seem to know it fairly well. For those that don't, it's just a very simple social photo sharing service. They've recently added video, 15 seconds of video. Can I get a quick show of hands? Who prefers Vine over Instagram video? Oh, no, that sucks. Oh, well, that's cool. It's dead, isn't it? It's going to die. All right. So, yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool. It's been around for a while. It's a really cool app. It's clearly very popular. So let's look into the demographics a little bit. So we've got the major age group, 18 to 24, so which is a really great consumer group, right? So, I mean, clearly for any consumer brands that target this age group, Instagram is a clear winner. And you've also got 25 to 34, so that's kind of like, you know, our age, right? Anyone else that's older is just not that relevant. It's a fairly even split between men and women. Women use it a little bit more. I think that's because of selfies. Guys aren't really into selfies. But yeah, generally 100 million monthly active users. I struggled to find data on the Philippines, so I'm not sure, but looking at this crowd, and I know you guys are a bit biased towards digital, but yeah, it's pretty pervasive. What I see happening is with more and more smartphones being sold, like the lower cost smartphones into this market, it's going to boom in the Philippines. There was a study actually, it's a little bit interesting, I won't go through all of the facts, but you guys can download this from SlideShare, I'll tweet it later, just add me on Twitter. But yeah, this was done by Jason Cruz from Makati. They surveyed 100 Filipino Instagram users to see what the mix is. So 84.8% photograph travel, scenery and food. 67.7% photograph themselves, which is interesting. I don't know if you guys saw a study, it was a couple of years ago, where they said the Philippines is the vainest country in the world. I know, you draw the dots. So yeah, I mean, there's some stats here. 9 out of 10 under 35, 41.4% are students, which is kind of good. As a brand, if you're marketing to students, that's quite an interesting statistic. All right. Oh, and the other cool one is 72.7 share on Twitter. On Facebook as well, which is kind of the crux of a few of these platforms I'm going to talk about. They're kind of a new medium, but they also pervade other social networks as well. So, for example, I just Instagrammed from my AllFamous Instagram, and that goes to my Facebook and my Twitter. You know, and that's just a content generation method. It's way easier for me to do that and way cooler than just taking a photo. So, yeah, Instagram versus Vine. So, yeah, this is quite interesting, and I guess it's true. It's going down. I'm a real fan of Vine. The reason I like Vine is because it's 6 seconds, and I feel like that's a good length to be creative. It forces people to really think outside the box. 15 seconds, you can just snap, you know, whatever. But anyway, you guys win. But actually, sorry, going back, so it went down in June. It went down it started off 4th at the start of the year in Google Play, and now it's down to 22nd. So it's indicative of its popularity. Yeah, so why should brands use Instagram? These aren't really that statistical, but we all know that people really engage well with photographs. You know, we see on Facebook a much higher engagement rate. It's 39% higher than the average, according to a Buddy Media study, on photos. So, I mean, clearly people enjoy it. You know, people don't like reading text as much. Another reason is it's easier and cheaper. You know, you don't have to go to your agency to ask them to do a photo shoot to get the right photo. You don't have to go through all the approval process and the governance to publish stuff anymore. You know, you can just do a quick Instagram and publish it. No one seeks your approval. You just get fired if you don't do it well. Yeah, how should brands use it? This is a challenge for some brands. You know, I mean, for example, insurance. Are there any insurers here? No, good, okay. Let's keep talking about them. So yeah, for an insurance company, how does an insurance company use Instagram? So the first point, if you have something visual to share. So a good example is like Starbucks, right? There's a whole culture around coffee drinking. That's a very easy thing to take photos of and to share them. But if you're an insurance agency, it's a little bit difficult. So I would focus on humanizing your brand. So an example here, the black and white photo. I keep pointing at this. I hope this isn't weird for you. It's that one. So that's my business partner and my SEO manager. Just having a chat, just having a meeting. But this was really successful on social because it showed a little bit about what we do. You know, it showed them an intense conversation talking about conversion metrics. Another really great way to use Instagram is to get other people involved. You know, to ask people to take photos as part of a competition. It's very easy to do. I know we've been running Facebook photo competitions forever. Excuse me. Yeah, but excuse me. So, okay, which industries are adopting Instagram a lot? So we can see on the left the automotive industry, then food. Excuse me. I haven't been at work all week. We've got drinks, soft drinks, apparel, telco, and then it kind of goes down from there. Okay, so how do I measure Instagram? So for me, my shop, I run an SEO shop, so I'm all about web traffic. So I don't really care that much about impressions or awareness that much. I mean, it's important, absolutely, especially for product launches. But what I really want to do is drive people to the site. So my primary tool is actually Google Analytics, and I track where they come from. Excuse me. So I track where they come from and also how they convert on site. That would be my primary method of tracking the effectiveness of Instagram. However, if you do want to see what's going on, there are excuse me. There are applications like Nitrogram that can do analytics around how your posts are performing. So here's some examples. So I already mentioned Starbucks. The other one is a bike example in the US, Mission Bicycle. So they're really just focused on photographing their bikes, but it's really creative, it's really cool. It's a really great way of getting your brand out there, because people engage with really nice images. And Instagram video. So this is quite a cool example. Yeah, I mean it's very simple, but it's kind of cool. Okay, so some tips that we have. So use a username that you already use. So for my company, AllFamous.com, that's our Twitter handle. That's also our Instagram handle. Hashtags work there as well, and hashtags are really powerful in Instagram. So you should be aiming to use some branded and some generic. So branded would be like IMAP Summit 2013. That's a specific brand hashtag. Generic would be like selfie or hot girl or whatever it is you want. Geolocation can be quite cool, especially if you're, say, doing events or if you have several store locations. Using a web program, it just helps it. It's a phone app, right? So if you've got a community manager, you can't necessarily manage it that easily from a phone, and especially if you're editing photos before you upload them. And then, as I mentioned, run photo competitions. So the important part, because this is important to me, how do I drive traffic? So add a URL to your bio, and also add a URL in the comments as well. Hands up who knows what a UTM tag is? Yes? We've got a few? Okay, good, good. So a UTM tag, if you want to know more, just tweet me. But it's basically a way of tracking where your traffic comes from to your website. So you can see if an Instagram person comes from there, and then if they convert or where they go on your website, what they do. It's just a really good way. All right. Okay, so that's Instagram. Pinterest. Hands up who uses Pinterest. Okay, hands up if you're a woman that uses Pinterest. Hands up if you're a man that uses Pinterest. Yep, that's about right. Okay, it's a very female-oriented platform. Why? I don't know. Does anyone know why? I really don't get it, but all I know is that I'm not that interested. I love social media. I love all of it, but I just don't, it doesn't spur me, Pinterest, you know? It doesn't light a fire in my soul.
Women of Pinterest, the men of the internet threaten our fortress.
Which legion? The trolls? The memers? The Facebook bros?
All of them, united. They gather on the plain.
My God. They seek to invade us, the way they did YouTube, Tumblr, and so many others.
We must protect our homepage. Only here can one post pictures of wedding gowns and green smoothies in peace.
It is so.
Yo, I'm Button's envoy.
What is it you seek?
Yo, we seek entry to your forbidden temple.
And why is that? So you have yet another home for your negativity and derision?
We desire no such thing, yo. We merely seek to lurk.
Open the gates.
There may come a day when the lulls of men fail, and women can post pictures of themselves online without someone asking to see their tits. But it is not this day, my trolls!
My liege. They gave him a fishtail braid.
Hey, you guys remember these things?
Downvote.
Wall.
Oh no!
They're flaming our walls! Quick, Legion of Etsy, craft!
Women power!
Nice tits.
Back bacon!
Kale!
It's a superfood! Retreat!
The bronies rise from the west! Sisters of Modclaw, the Ninja Cats!
White Knights.
Where are you going?
Don't do it! It's a photo bomb!
Wait, what?
Our walls have held. Pinterest lives to see the morning.
Their armies have retreated. But look, they offer truce.
Bring this symbol of victory to our homepage at once.
I had one just as this at my own wedding.
Yeah, it's a cool video, right? All right, so here's a more serious video about how it actually works. This is just a quick one because it's not as funny. Is this sound? Huh. All right.
Cut around it. Put it on your holy scrapbook.
Can I just start again?
And keep it under... Back in the 70s, you found a snazzy picture of a wooden shelf that you want to buy. You cut around it, put it on your holy scrapbook, and keep it under your pillow. Fast forward to the 90s. Internet storms all over the world. People are scouring the web, and right-clicking is the way to grab a picture of a wedding gown you always dreamed of. But then you have to save it, put it on a floppy disk, and risk to lose it. It's a new world. There's got to be something better than this. Use Pinterest. Collect pictures from any website with your browser, laptop, tablet, mobile, and post them on your board. Create as many boards as you want. Cute animal babies, delicious looking cookies you just baked, things your husband really want for Christmas, or your proud collection of every Chuck Norris movies. Just anything you can think of. Once pinned, your pins are shared with other pinners, who can repin them on their own boards. You can also follow other pinners to get updates on their pins. It's a fun and simple way to share things you like and meet others with similar interests across the globe. It goes beyond just sharing pictures. Pinterest can be used to organize events, share recipes, or do-it-yourself projects, and promote stuff. Pinterest. Get your invitation today and start pinning.
Yeah, so that's Pinterest. Yeah, so I mean, there's a lot of Pinterest users. It's actually a really positive platform. It's a great place to engage with a certain type of market. I'm actually going to blow your mind, well, some of you, with some information in the next few slides about why Pinterest is really great for SEO and for brand awareness. So, looking at our demographics, 30% 25 to 34, 25% 35 to 44, and then it tapers off. The user gender, 80% women. So, yeah, I think that was about right with our survey. Pinterest has been growing rapidly. It's a really major platform now. It's not something that we should keep to the side anymore. AllFamous uses it. We're a B2B digital agency, so I don't use it well, though. I don't really invest that much time in it, but I should. Okay, this is what's going to blow your mind. This is what is awesome about Pinterest. This is what you should take seriously. So it's actually a major traffic source for your website, strangely. So we've got the blue, 59.59% from Facebook, which we all know you can drive traffic from Facebook to your website. But the next biggest one, bigger than Twitter, bigger than StumbleUpon, bigger than LinkedIn, is Pinterest. The women's network. Why? I don't know. I really don't know, but we can't ignore this data. We've got to actually use it. Just a note for anyone that's in the SEO world, you don't get any link juice on links from Pinterest. So again, there's actually analytics in Pinterest, similar to Facebook Insights. But again, Google Analytics is the platform I'd use to really measure the effect. You can, so on the, just like every other insights platform, you can see how well your content is working, which is really good to figure out, what you're doing well and what you're not. You can figure out who your demographic is, etc., etc., etc. So that's really to optimize how you use Pinterest. But at the end of the day, what you want to really figure out is how much traffic am I getting there and is it converting? All right, so some good examples. Not a women's brand, Mashable. So these guys have 1.473 million followers on their board. I'm not sure about their actual pin boards. The followers are a little bit weird. So you can follow a pinner, or you can follow a pin board, or you can follow a pin, I think. I don't know. I'm no expert on Pinterest. Etsy is another really good example. Etsy is definitely the type of brand that should be in Pinterest. Hands up who knows what Etsy is. Okay, cool. Wow, okay. Yeah, so Etsy is a really cool, it's like a crafts marketplace, but it's growing in popularity. And GE, who would have thought? So if I went to what did GE do? They do like manufacturing, all sorts of stuff, right? Electronics and innovation. If I went to a similar company in the Philippines and said, you guys should invest in Pinterest, they would say, what are you talking about? You know, especially because it's not really, their products aren't really women-oriented. So it's a really good example of how brands are still seeing value from these kind of networks, even if they're not female-oriented. So that's my challenge to you. My challenge to you is to stop thinking about Pinterest as a woman's social network and start thinking about it as a traffic source. All right, so there's a lot of do's and don'ts. I can't read that many things, so you'll have to download it. But there's hashtags. As always, it's great to show your personality. Just like every social network, you should humanize. Focus on lifestyle rather than product. Don't be too self-promoting. No one likes a show-it-all on Pinterest. There's quite a cool culture in Pinterest as well. They don't like negativity. So if you're like a troll, if you like to put people down, it's not your platform. You should integrate to your website. Competitions are really great. You can do a lot of user-generated competitions through Pinterest. And you can also start to recognize some of your more engaged fans by setting up pin boards for those people. Yeah, and of course video as well works through as well. Okay, so that's Pinterest. So let's go into Vine, my favorite video platform. All right, I've got another video while I take a break. I set this up quite well knowing that I was going to be sick.
Yeah, didn't happen, nigga. What's up, nigga? You just jealous, you just better shut the fuck up.
I know it's here. Austin, what are you looking for? The twerk tree. I know it's here somewhere.
Drive-by fuck you special edition.
Hey, lady, go fuck yourself.
This is doggies, doggies.
How deep do you think that is?
6, 7 feet?
Cannonball.
Cannonball! Congratulations, you won. Congratulations, you won. Congratulations, you won. Congratulations.
Mom!
Damn, where are my friends at?
That's grape soda. Come on. I don't do country. What the fuck?
Baby, lock them doors and turn the lights down low.
Oh!
Call 911!
Everyone wants to do high five in New York. High five! High five!
Two spades. Nick Cage.
Brain travel! Cool! Uh-oh.
Who the fuck discovered milk? Walking up to some random cow, squeezing on his pink nipple titties, find this white shit, then drink it?
How to be awkward.
Oh my god, I love how you drink this coffee, how you swallow it. It's
Oh wow! It's a man shellfish. Never seen one in the wild before.
Hey. Hey.
Dunk session.
I pulled that trigger because I'm a crazy nigga.
And I said, Larry,
Bro, did you eat one of these?
Yeah, why?
Excuse me. Booyah!
Hey, Bob, what are you waiting for? Just fucking jump!
But there's a beehive on that. A beehive.
Thanks. Enjoy the patter.
Excuse me, do you like balloons?
Balloons! Balloons!
Milk and cereal, milk and...
Got the milk.
Yo, Eric, where's the milk?
Man, it's just the perfect day at the beach.
Hey, get out of here. It's my spot. I'm coming for you.
Hey, Eric, what's wrong?
Just wish Justin was here. Hey, what's up? Jeez, ironboard! My hand! Hold on, wait, don't leave, I gotta pick up one!
Here's how to creep on little kids in public. Hey, little boy, where's your mommy?
What the fuck, bitch?
Yeah, okay. Hey!
Hey, man.
What's up, man?
Wake up late.
Chicken? Aw. Oh, shit.
No!
Bitch!
At the Chinese restaurant, they be like, "They're gonna complete order. Would you like any sauce, salsa, noodles, Chinese chicken fried white? There you go. Make sure you read your order."
No. Come on. Yes!
One water, please. Oh, my goodness. You big goof, Gary, you did it again.
Cool. Yeah. So that was a compilation of vines, if you didn't guess. So that's what I love about this platform, because it's really creative. It brings out people's like utmost creativity because they've only got 6 seconds. So how does Vine work? Here's another video. I may as well not be here, right? I could do this from home.
As a social network that likes to keep things short and sweet, it's not surprising that Twitter released a new app that lets you upload 6-second videos. The app's called Vine. It's available for iOS devices and is already being called the Instagram for video. Let's take a look. So when you launch the app for the first time, you'll be asked to log in by connecting with Twitter or by using your email address. Once you're all set up, you'll see a feed of videos uploaded by people you follow, we'll get to that in a minute, and some editors' picks. Right now, it's a lot of babies, dogs, food, and stop-motion video. The interface is pretty cool, actually. As you scroll through videos in the feed, they'll autoplay with sound. And if you want to, you can tap on a video at any point to pause it. Some of these videos do move really fast, so you'll want to get comfortable with that feature. Now, below each video, you'll see people who liked it and comments and buttons for liking and commenting on the video yourself. Okay, let's check out the other tabs. Tap on the icon in this corner and you can navigate to Explore, which lets you browse by topic like how-to, nature, or food. You can enter a tag or username in the search field up here, or you can dig around these curated collections like editors' picks or popular now. There's also an activity menu where you'll see news about who's following you and who's liking or commenting on your videos. Okay, and last of all is the Profile tab. Here you'll see all of your Vine videos, your likes, and if you tap this icon in the corner, you can add people by searching for them in your address book, Twitter, Facebook, or by name. Also back in the Profile tab is your settings. Here, take a moment to fill in things like your bio, location, and link Vine to your social networks down here so that you can share your videos seamlessly. Now that I have all of that filled out, I think it's time to upload my very first Vine. So I have this lunch salad that I need to assemble, and I'm thinking that it might make for a good Vine video. All right, take out my components. And I'll need a plate. Let me show you how to record a Vine. From the home menu, I'll select the video icon here in the corner, and the camera will launch. Okay, shooting video with Vine is a little different from what you're used to. To record, hold down, and to pause, let go. You can keep doing this as many times as you want until you hit 6 seconds. So since I can't make the salad and shoot the video at the same time, Chris is going to help me shoot the video while I assemble the salad. All right, so first to go down is our lettuce. And he'll do a couple seconds of this. Next, we'll do a little avocado, some cubed oranges, sprinkle some nuts, and finally, I'll hit it with a little dressing. All right, so now that we're done shooting it, I can preview the video, and in the next window, I can add a caption. If you want to, do include some hashtags. I'll add some here, so hopefully anyone searching for food or lunch will come across my Vine video. Finally, I'll choose my sharing settings, tap done, and my video will be posted. And there it is, right at the top of my stream. All right, now it's your turn. If you're just uploading your first Vine, tweet it to me, and Android users, just sit tight. Twitter does say its app should be coming to you very soon. For CNET.com, I'm Sharon Backman. It's time to eat this salad.
So actually, that was a great example of how to drive engagement. She posted a how-to video on how to use Vine and then asked people to Vine her. That's a great idea. But you can see it's super simple. I'm sorry if you guys already knew how to use that, but I needed a break. So 40 million users, it just launched this year. So I feel really bad for these guys because they just launched, it was awesome, and then Instagram came out and just knocked it out of the park. But on the upside, and this applies to both Instagram and Vine and any other video software, 2/3 of the world's mobile traffic will be video by 2017. So that's a lot, right? 2/3 of the world's mobile data traffic. Video will increase 16-fold between 2012 and 2017, accounting for over 66% of total mobile data traffic by end of 2017. So when video... Well, actually, before Vine came out, I've wanted to take video, but I don't know how to do video editing, and I don't want to learn because it sucks. So I was like, there's got to be an easier way. There's got to be an app on my phone that does it. And then they came out with this, and now it's so consumer-friendly. Anyone can do video editing and come up with really creative videos. So, yeah, anyway, I keep selling Vine. So yeah, why should brands use Vine? I don't have that much justification aside from that people have a short attention span. Some people also think that Instagram is too long, and I personally believe so as well. And I like the fact that it's just creative. It's a creative platform. Harvard Business Review, they were quoted saying, if a 60-second video is a dinner date, then Vine is openly flirting across a crowded bar. So that's how it is. It's kind of like Twitter as well. In terms of the frequency, you really need to be frequently creating Vines. It's not about just doing one a week that's high quality. It's about doing 10 a week that are average quality but show a little bit about behind your brand. So here's some cool examples. I don't know if the internet's going to work, but let's give it a try. So some examples of things you guys can think about doing. Catchy jingles or songs. Oh, okay. No, that failed. All right. I've got some more Vines. It's all right. Actually, just going back. Yeah, catchy jingles or songs. Stop motion, we all know, is quite popular, and it's quite simple to do. Even if it's semi-stop motion, like making a salad. Looping as well, which means that it looks like it's continuous. A trend in inserting pop songs into mundane situations. I wish I could show you that video. You can get these from SlideShare. And then, the final one, daily office fun, is where one of my staff stole my toilet paper from my desk. Don't ask me why I have toilet paper on my desk. Yeah, but anyway. So how do you measure Vine? So again, I say Google Analytics is how I would measure the response from Vine, or the ROI. But there is an app by Simply Measured who does a lot of social media analytics. So they actually have released something for Vine management. Okay, so here's some good examples. So this is General Electric. We've already mentioned them before. GE are awesome in social media. They've really come out of their shell. I've been following GE for years because they're quite an innovative company. And I'm so happy they're here. Yeah, so it's simple. I mean, imagine it looping over and over again. So the whole GE thing is they want to amaze people with amazing images and amazing things. You know, they're kind of a technology-oriented company. So they release a lot of really visually astounding things just like that. So another thing that GE do really well is they actually drive a lot of engagement. They talk to their consumers. They aren't just a publisher. They actually try and drive engagement with their posts. So yeah, the example here, they asked a question, just like you'd ask a question through Facebook. So this is Lowe's. It's an American home improvement warehouse. Yeah, so that's it. It's super simple. So their whole thing is how-to guides, DIY. So they use 6 seconds to educate people. And there's all sorts of tips in there, like how to tile your floor, how to fix your sink, you know, those kind of things. This one's quite cool. I never thought about how to hammer in a nail without hurting yourself. Good idea. And this is USA Today, which is a US newspaper. So they do things like, you know, pretty much every day when they release newspapers, they'll highlight certain stories or, you know, go through their newspaper a little bit with their 6 seconds. And that's quite a cool application. And as you can see, that doesn't cost anything. It doesn't cost an agency to prepare it for you. So some tips on Vine. Competitions are really good. And it's super easy. It's like, because people want a reason to use Vine, just not everyone has one. So if you give people a good reason and a reward or an incentive, it'll incentivize them. Start with a plan. So you do have to think a little bit about what you're going to do with your 6 seconds. But the fun thing is you don't really waste much time if you fail. You just start again. It's really an elevator pitch type approach. So sometimes I use Radian 6 a lot, if you guys are familiar. So when I do a scan in Radian 6, I'll Vine the scan. I'll like capture the key highlights in my Vine. Imperfection humanizes. And I can't emphasize this enough. It's great when you do silly things in social media that you shouldn't, or make spelling mistakes, or show just a little bit of rough edge around your brand, because it shows that you're there. It shows that you're not an agency that's on their behalf. And volume counts, just like Twitter, just like I mentioned before, it's good to keep doing this as regularly as possible. All right, so that's Vine. So onto YouTube. Hands up who uses YouTube. Really? Really? Come on, okay, wake up crowd. Hands up, who uses YouTube? Okay, good. I know everyone uses YouTube. It's a silly question. All right, so are you ready to laugh?
Joel in the end is taking his shoes off. He now has no insulator.
Kapooyah! And your boy that hell just came in. I looked at opened my door, and I looked out my door and started hitting me in my head. I took out running, ran to my restroom, and then I called my mama to see was she all right.
Она гонял деду.
Добрый день, капитан Добрынин. Приведите документы, пожалуйста. Что вы сказали? Капитан Добрынин, предъявите документы, пожалуйста. Так, это что, это хомяк, что ли, говорит? Так, давай хомяка выключаем. Все в порядке.
Out here because basically what is left is the people walking around with this glazed look in their eyes and just stumbling. Like this one behind me. Hi, yes. How are you doing?
California.
Oh, very nice to meet you. You know, you're gonna do an interview with us?
Sure.
Okay, because we were just talking about here along Bourbon Street and the STD rate that's been going on here. So how long have you had an STD?
I don't have an STD.
Oh, then why did you want to talk?
Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry.
Are you serious?
Nothing to be ashamed of right now.
No, I don't have an STD.
Oh, okay, yes. Anyway.
and Buddy gets out, and these two women are trying to help him. He runs up and he grabs one of them, man. Like a guy that big can snap a woman's neck like a pencil stick. So I fucking ran up behind him with a hatchet. Smash, smash, smash.
Yeah, so those were some of the more viral videos of 2013 so far. All right, so how does YouTube work? I think you guys all probably understand this, but YouTube is a little bit more mature than a lot of other social media channels. So there is actually quite a bit of complexity here, which I'm not an expert in. I don't claim to be, but I know at the high level. So, social video sharing, video buffering. This was one of the major things they brought to the internet was video buffering. You know, initially you used to have to download your entire video and then watch it. So they just allowed you to stream videos, which was very cool for countries that don't have fast internet, which is most. You can have brand channels. There's a lot of advertising options there. There's also a whole world of SEO with YouTube videos. I don't know if you're aware. But it's very much oriented around keywords, and it really helps Google search. And also video annotations, those annoying pop-ups. So here's some facts and figures.
Video is more than something you just play around with. It's the most effective and efficient tool to promote your business. Video was the fastest growing form of online marketing and advertising in 2012. 1/3 of all online activity is spent watching video. That's over 2 billion people worldwide watching video online right at this moment. Did you know 1 minute of video is equal to 1.8 million words? That's 3,600 web pages. Video offers the most exposure and higher sales for your business. Here's why. If your website has video, it's 53 times more likely to appear on the first page of Google's search results. On average, people spend 88% more time on a website with video, and they retain 95% of a message when they watch it in a video. Consumers who saw a product demo while shopping are 85% more likely to make a purchase, and 41% of people share a video through email and social media. YouTube video streams top 1.2 billion per day. That means at any given time, everyone on the internet is watching video every day. Ready to share, promote, showcase, and engage with video?
Yes. Yeah, isn't that awesome? Isn't video awesome? I personally, I don't use video as much as I should. Like, seeing that now, I'm like, shit. Sorry, I hope you guys don't mind swearing. There's been a lot of swearing. I'm from New Zealand. In New Zealand, it's very common to swear. It's socially acceptable, and I really enjoy it, to be honest. But yeah, no, seriously though, video is sick. It's a really great, it's a great way of achieving success online. And it's not just the fact that people get more awareness or they're like, I understand better. There's actual technical benefits like SEO, for example. And you saw those stats about how people are more likely to purchase if they see a video. Yeah, so how should you use YouTube? It's such a tricky area to be good at. Hands up who's ever tried making their own viral video. Oh, okay, just me. Oh no, we've got a few. Okay, cool. Hands up who was successful and got over 1 million likes. Oh, views. No, yeah, exactly. Oh, you have? Oh, awesome. Okay, that's cool. Okay, we've got one success story. That's good. Wow. So, but that's probably the probability of being able to achieve that is 1 out of however many people there are here, if not less. It's a really difficult thing to get, and especially if you're doing it on behalf of a brand, you know, because it can seem quite forced. There are methods, though, to achieve a lot of followers. Like with paid advertising, you can absolutely do that. So some good ideas, like how-to guides. There's a really good example in New Zealand of, it's Mitre 10, it's like a hardware store. They do how-to guides on like how to erect a fence or how to fix your drain. Very similar to that Vine we saw before. Viral videos, of course, that's the golden goose of YouTube, but it's very hard to achieve. There are a couple of companies that specialize in viral, but yeah, again, it's always a risk, right? Teasers, like product teasers, information teasers. Behind the scenes, in the same way that you'd use Vine to humanize your brand, you can also use YouTube videos as well. Explainer videos. Explainer videos are really common and they're really powerful, especially on your homepage of your website. Like 1 minute 20 is the ideal length. In-video overlays, yeah, so that's kind of call to actions. Having brand channels, using annotations, etc. But we see there's a lot of the bigger brands are getting really successful in YouTube, or they have been for a while. I'm not going to try this, but you can get it from the SlideShare. There's a bunch of ways to measure analytics. There's a YouTube analytics feature as well. So here's some really good brand examples of how they've used YouTube to garner massive success.
Hi, I'm Mike, founder of DollarShaveClub.com. What is DollarShaveClub.com? Well, for $1 a month, we send high-quality razors right to your door. Yeah, $1. Are the blades any good? No. Our blades are f***ing great. Each razor has stainless steel blades, an aloe vera lubricating strip, and a pivot head. It's so gentle a toddler could use it. And do you like spending $20 a month on brand name razors? 19 go to Roger Federer. I'm good at tennis. And do you think your razor needs a vibrating handle, a flashlight, a back scratcher, and 10 blades? Your handsome-ass grandfather had 1 blade and polio. Looking good, pop up! Stop paying for shave tech you don't need. And stop forgetting to buy your blades every month. Alejandro and I are going to ship them right to you. We're not just selling razors, we're also making new jobs. Alejandro, what were you doing last month?
Not working.
What are you doing now?
Working.
I'm no Vanderbilt, but this train makes hay. So stop forgetting to buy your blades every month and start deciding where you're going to stack all those dollar bills I'm saving you. We are DollarShaveClub.com, and the party is on.
That's just a really good example. They're trying to be viral, and I think they're quite successful at it. All right, so this is the next one. Oreo.
My name's David Neville, and I'm a physicist and copywriter. We're in the frigid but interesting Mad Dog Garage in Portland, Oregon. My Oreo separator machine is entirely based on the dislike of cream and preference for cookie. It goes by OSM. It's just an acronym. Here's the little on-off switch that I made out of some scraps of aluminum. One of the hardest things to overcome was to learn how to build robots and make them work, but it was also difficult to keep my hands warm and the back of my neck warm. It not only makes me cold to sit here and work on it all day and night, but it makes the cookies cold, and that makes the cream more difficult to separate from the cookie. This is where the Oreo actually starts on the machine. You just place one here. This arm grabs the Oreo and it places it over here. I don't have a catchphrase for my machine, but I guess if it did have one, it could be something like, let's get that cream out of there, or like, this cream's no good, get it off the cookies or something. Then these two panels flip up and get it ready for the first real important process, the division process. I've been working on my machine now for about 0.4 years. Wait, 0.04 years. I used tools and wires and wood and a lot of aluminum and motors. The division process is carried out by this hatchet, which lowers down right through the center of the Oreo, and then I've got this floss to kind of keep the creamy Oreo halves from sticking to the hatchet blade. It was a big time commitment to build the machine. I had to work some long hours. I didn't get to see my girlfriend or my dog for hours at a time sometimes. And I had to try to find like a good sandwich in this part of the city and stuff. There were a lot of sacrifices, I guess. Then these arms will come down to receive the 2 Oreo halves and then bring them over here to this little tray. And then the tray clamps the Oreos down and holds them and gets them ready for the next step, which is the CNC router table that's going to take the cream off of the cookie halves. I'll power it up now and we can give it a try. All right. 2 clean, delicious Oreos. Yum.
So, it's a really good example of a brand that's applying real uniqueness to their marketing. You know, it's such a silly idea and a silly video, and I can't even imagine how they would have thought to have created that. But yeah, it was quite hilarious. All right, so this is the last example I've got. So this is I can't even remember the brand name. You'll find out. Old Spice.
It's working, Polar, operational, and human words are coming out. Hi, I'm Mr. Wolfdog. Old Spice was looking for someone to market their new wild collection of scents. Someone from the wild. And I guess that's me, Director Wolfdog, new executive director of marketing. Did you notice I have these cliche businessman decorations? I have them to show I am definitely successful in business and definitely not just a wild animal. Also, look at this calculator. Would a dangerous wild animal use a calculator? I think not. You see, I fully understand marketing. Wild collection smell products. Boom. You've been seduced by my marketing. That's marketing that I just did to you. And it's how I get business done. Stamp, stamp, stamp. I just made $1 million. That's what I just did. Bring in more business-looking awards. Here's a tough one. How does a business leader resist the strong, stomach-oriented urge to eat his staff members? The hard fact is you don't.
First try.
Sometimes you gotta eat people, America. That's how business works. And that's why I'm successful. Listen, my point is this. Follow my Twitters or read my blog writings because I am about to make Old Spice Wild Collection the wildest brand in the world. You're welcome. Bring in the meat sacks.
So, yeah, but you can see there that it's not just limited to the YouTube video. He actually did a call out to engage with him. So they've got an ongoing campaign where clearly Mr. Wolfdog is doing stuff on social. All right, so YouTube tips. So make content, not ads. You know, if you're releasing stuff about yourself, it's boring. No one's going to consume it. You're going to be stuck on the 127 likes that most of us get stuck on. So think about making content that people will actually want to consume. Unique content, interesting content, funny content. useful content is typically a good go-to if you're not really prepared to be viral. So something that actually enriches your audience's lives. So like how-to videos are a great example of that. Leverage the new one-channel design. I don't know how new it is, but it's you've got the same consistent look and feel across mobile and web. Use YouTube to push people to your website. So this is done using the annotations, using the callouts, putting URLs in the comments, etc. That's your ultimate goal, as always, is to get people to go to your website. Utilize paid views. So yeah, I mean, as I said, you can actually pay for traffic just the same as you pay for traffic through Google AdWords to your site, or you pay for likes through Facebook ads. It's the same with YouTube, and it's a very effective method of doing so. So this is, if you've seen it, typically it's the 5-second loading ad at the start of video that's annoying. So that's how you get people. Another really great example is to collaborate with creators. So look into the community and see people that are already making successful YouTube videos, and then collaborate with them. You know, they've clearly got the talent that you probably don't have in-house. So yeah, I mean, that's just a great way to leverage people. And leverage YouTube videos for SEO. As that first video mentioned, it's really great for SEO, super great. So you've just got to make sure that you do a bit of keyword optimization on your actual, on your YouTube videos. All right, so that's YouTube. So those are all the fun ones. Now we're on to LinkedIn. I don't know why I put this last. I regret it now. There's no funny videos with LinkedIn. I looked, I really did. I looked for funny videos, there's nothing. So, but there is an informative video, which I will show you.
If you've ever received an email that says, "Join my network on LinkedIn," you've probably wondered, what is LinkedIn? A simple answer is that it's the world's largest professional network, helping people find and share opportunities every day. But how is it relevant to you? Managing your career is just one reason to join LinkedIn. As you develop your professional profile, you establish an authoritative resource on your experience and capabilities that lets people find you when they search the internet. In 2 minutes, you'll be up and running with the most important page on the web you'll ever have. Do you know what people find when they Google your name? With LinkedIn, you'll have more control over what appears in Google results, and having a robust profile encourages people to approach you with opportunities. Many of your contacts are already on LinkedIn, and you can reconnect just by uploading your address book. This lets you stay in touch even as your contacts change jobs and email addresses. Your reputation is summed up by the relationships you've developed over your career. LinkedIn helps you maintain these relationships authentically. In addition, when you want to make new business connections, you can find people using LinkedIn's search tool, then see who you know in common. This makes it easy to request an introduction from your trusted connections. You can also join a LinkedIn group where professionals in your field discuss issues and solve problems related to your industry. Link to your Twitter account to share tweets with your professional network, both from LinkedIn to Twitter and vice versa. And use LinkedIn's mobile application to stay current with your network wherever you are. These are just a few features that help you get the most out of LinkedIn. Whether you're working in an office or on the go, LinkedIn keeps you in touch with the people that matter to your career. And since signing up is free, LinkedIn just might be the best investment you'll ever make in your career.
Who uses LinkedIn here? Hands up. Awesome. Okay, who doesn't use LinkedIn? Okay, we've got a couple. All right, can I please suggest that you get onto LinkedIn? It's such an awesome social platform. So, yeah, okay. So LinkedIn facts and figures, I'm not going to read these out, but the key ones are 238 million people globally, which is awesome. It's also a really credible social network. You don't have like fake accounts or so many fake accounts. It's very hard to fake LinkedIn, which is a challenge for agencies like mine. If I'm working on LinkedIn for a client, I have to use their profiles on their behalf, and it does make it very challenging. I can't have, say, my community manager's profile representing a client's brand because they'll see her experience, his or her experience, doesn't match. So that's the thing. LinkedIn is a very credible, authentic, real, professional social network. So 87% trust LinkedIn as a source of information affecting decision making. So yada, yada, yada. It's growing, it's awesome, it's massive. Mobile is quite big as well, so you've got to make sure that if you're driving traffic to your site that it's mobile optimized. I can't see the stat here, but it's really massive for recommendations. This is a recent feature, and it's growing really quickly. So people can recommend you personally, or you can recommend a brand's products and services. So why should brands use LinkedIn? Why is it important? Brand followers are 2.5 times more likely to recommend products. So if you start to build this audience, you get a lot of really great engagement. Amplification and reach. So HP is an example. So they've got 1 million followers. They really invested in LinkedIn. They use paid advertising as well. But their 1 million reach, they actually get access to the second-degree connections, similar to Facebook, right? How you reach the friends of fans. So they reach 43 million first-degree connections, which is kind of, that's about, what, 25% of the total user base of LinkedIn, which is really amazing. Targeting, segment and target content. Yeah, so you know who's an executive, you know what position they are, you know who's going to buy your product. Hands up, who's in B2B or a B2B company? Yep, okay, we've got a few B2Bs. Hands up who's B2C. We've got less B2C. What do you guys do? What does everyone else do? All right, well, if you're B2B, LinkedIn is probably your #1 social platform above Facebook. Well, in my opinion, at least. I use LinkedIn a lot. Yeah, it's really excellent. So how should brands use LinkedIn? Create awareness and improve reputation, same as you would through any other social platform. Thought leadership and influencer marketing. So this one really enables you to do this well. Hands up, those who are in LinkedIn, hands up who are part of a group, a LinkedIn group. Okay, that's good, that's good. Hands up who have actually engaged in the group that they joined. Okay, a few less, but it's still a few. So on the right side of the panel, there's an influencer score. So if you're engaging a lot in those groups, you show up there as an influencer for that community. Which, like, all of that stuff is all good and well, but what it means is that people notice you and people click through to your site, to your profile, and then people go to your website, or at least they're aware of you. So it actually has a really a high chance of getting engagement through LinkedIn of the right type of people that are actually interested in buying your product. Lead gen. Lead gen is, I do all of my lead gen through LinkedIn. I really do. Like, I meet people at events, but really the rubber hits the road when I connect with them on LinkedIn, and then I start talking to them. So if anyone is doing B2B sales, I highly recommend investing in the page profiles that allow you to send in-mails, because it's just super powerful. You can reach out to CEOs in any part of the world, in any industry. It's really easy. Social CRM. You can integrate LinkedIn to some CRM platforms like Salesforce, even Outlook, I think, has plugins that allow you to get some of the, even Gmail as well, it gets some of the data from LinkedIn and shares it or links it through to that profile in the other system. So you can start to get richer information about these people and how you interact with them. Traffic building, as I mentioned, like having visibility, like interacting, sharing great content, that's going to build traffic to your site. And listening and gaining insights. So a good example of how you do this is, say in a group, I see one question in a group that goes, thank you, one question in a group that goes viral, like everyone's going nuts on it. So I just copy the question and ask it in a different group. It's kind of copying, but it actually works because the same question needs to be asked. You know, clearly it's an important question. So you can start to understand what your target audience are really concerned about, what they're thinking about. Whoops, I had some graphics. Yeah, I won't go through those. So how do I measure it? So just like most of the others, there is an insights area as part of LinkedIn that'll show you how you're engaging. It'll show you the types of people that are engaging with you. It shows you quite a lot of really good information. But again, Google Analytics is my source of truth. You know, that's where I see if these people are actually converting. And especially B2B, you really want to be driving people to your site with high quality content and have them sign up. You know, they become leads and then you can kind of farm them from there. So best practice example is HP. I've already mentioned them. So they used ads. Hands up who's used LinkedIn ads before? Okay, we've got a couple. Okay, so I used LinkedIn ads. My first time, I was a virgin, and it didn't work at all. It's pay-per-click, right? And I got 0 clicks. I didn't pay a cent. So, and I was really like, what's going on? So my ad was, the copy was something like, want to find out how to achieve ROI through social media. Something very simple like that. No one cares. But what they do care about on LinkedIn is white papers and ebooks. That's what's really valuable. So if you're in the business of producing those, that's the kind of thing that will advertise well. So tips, bolster your individual profiles and your teams. Like everyone in your company should be active on LinkedIn. It's all part of being active and present. And just put as much stuff in there, make sure it's all done up. Can I just make a recommendation to anyone that's in recruitment or the recruits? Don't take paper CVs anymore. Just force them to use LinkedIn, because that should be the source of truth, right? I hate updating my CV. It sucks. Actually, even for this event, they asked me to send my CV, and I said, I just don't have time. Can you just check my LinkedIn? And thankfully, they did. Engage in groups to gain influence. And this is, there's just so much value in doing this. You can pick up leads really easily. Have a company page, start populating it with content, put your products and services there. And then eventually you'll start getting recommendations on those services. So people will say, yep, I recommend that, which is great. LinkedIn SEO, not many people know this, but there is an SEO aspect of LinkedIn. So you can see on your personal profile what people typed in to come to your profile. So it'll say, for me, it'll be like, the top one will be like Robin, and then it'll be like AllFamous, Robin Leonard, you know. So those are my top search queries that resulted in a hit on my site. So I achieve this SEO type thing by setting up my skills, by using keywords on my profile and my description, etc. So it's just important. It's important to flesh it out and make sure it's complete. Another great way is to find new talent. Brands should be doing this. It's way cheaper than actual recruiting. You have to pay for a recruiter module. I should be getting paid commission for this, right? The recruiter module is a little bit expensive, but it just drives so many recruits there, and they're high quality. And also they've recently released a sponsored content feature, so you can sponsor your posts just like Facebook, which is really good. All right, so that is the end of all of those different social networks. So just to wrap up, I just want to go back to this, back to asking yourself, what are my objectives? What am I trying to achieve? Is it revenue? Is it online revenue? Is it offline revenue? Is it brand awareness? Is it loyalty? Is it just engagement? Where are my customers? Just ask yourself if your customers are likely to be in those social networks. If there's, say, 40 million people in Instagram, I can't remember the numbers. If there's 40 million, how many of those are Filipinos, and how many of those are actually potentially going to buy your product? You do need to challenge yourself on those numbers. And also, what content will they like? For those people that are on that platform, what will be interesting? And again, going back to this, so up the top, my final hint, I already talked about this, UTM plus Google Analytics to track channel ROI. It's the best way to see if a social network is actually performing. I highly recommend that you set this up. It's just the only way to go. Cool. And that is the end of my talk. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Robin. I think we'll have 5 minutes for your questions. Please approach the mic closest to you and then state your name, your company, and your question. Questions? Let me start it off, maybe. I noticed that you talked a lot about media, lots of videos, lots of photos. By how much does media really improve click-through?
Click-through rate on
any kind of content, actually.
Okay, well, Yeah, I mean, I guess it's if you look at, say, a Facebook post, if you type in just a text post versus a photo, there's a massive difference in terms of how people engage with it. So this is these types of channels are really great ways to create rich content, which people are more likely to engage with. Yeah, I don't know if that answers your question.
Perhaps in percentages.
Oh, percentages. I don't know off the top of my head. I know the Facebook photo interaction is 39% more interactive. Outside of that, yeah, I'm not sure.
Questions from the audience?
Voila.
Yes, ma'am, please. While she's getting up the mic, I have bad news for you guys. Narciso Reyes of Google Philippines will not be able to come today. So that's the good news. That's the bad news. The good news is our next speaker will have a little bit more time. And if our current speakers, Ralph and Robin, are still here by the time Mr. Stanley ends, then maybe we can throw them a few more questions. Yeah? Yes,
hi, good afternoon. I'm Lourdes from Newark's Interactive Labs. You talked about Instagram video versus Vine, and personally, I actually like Vine better because they have more creative executions. Go Vine. Anyway, I actually want to ask your opinion because when I did my study, my personal study on Instagram video versus Vine, I actually thought it was comparing apples and oranges. Like they're two different platforms that actually generate different content. So what do you think? Do you think a brand has to choose one over the other? Because in my study, I would think they could actually use both. Although Instagram did allow users now to upload the video from their library instead of shooting it, unlike Vine. So what's your take on that?
Yeah, that's a really good question. Yeah, you're right when you said it's apples and oranges. It is a different media type, and Vine is awesome in its own respect, but Instagram is more integrated with a lot more users, and it's very easy to use. Most of the time, brands have to focus on one or two social networks, you know, and typically it's like Facebook or Twitter or Google+. So they struggle with too many. So the only reason I'd say no, you just focus on one is just for attention. Like your brand, the marketers probably don't have that much bandwidth to deal with a lot. However, if they're, say, Coca-Cola or if they're a big brand and they have a large digital team, they can make someone accountable for each of those. Absolutely. I think budget allowing, it's a great idea. At the end of the day, though, if you look at ROI, I think both would deliver really good ROI. I think Instagram may deliver more ROI because it's got a bigger user base. So you may see more traffic coming through to your site from Instagram because Vine is kind of up and coming. But then you'd get other benefits from Vine, like you get a niche audience that are highly engaged, they're very attracted to your Vines, more likelihood of virality off Vines, I'd assume. Yeah, it's a really good question. I think about it myself because my company's in Vine and Instagram. And I struggle to keep up. You know, we struggle to keep up with both. So I typically use Instagram for photo and Vine for video.
Do you think it also affects of each platform, the fact that when you share a Vine on Twitter, it actually generates a preview, but if you share an Instagram video on Twitter, it just comes out as a link?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's a really good point as well. I didn't raise that. Yeah, absolutely. So on each platform, if it has a preview, it's way more likely to be engaged with. So yeah, that would be a good argument to actually support both, so that you're hitting both social networks with those preview features. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
More questions? Yes, ma'am.
Hi, my name is Twyla from One Trump Web Inc. My question is, we have a lot of social media platforms nowadays, including the ones that you have presented today. How are we going to manage these stuff? I know there are a lot of social management applications and softwares in the market right now that can help us with that, but not a lot of of these applications have Vine and Instagram, YouTube in them, and it would be very hard to keep up with all these social media. How do you think we can deal with that as social media specialists?
Yeah, that's a great issue that you've raised, and that's probably the number one issue that most marketers face is how do I keep up with stuff? And I face that all the time. Like I do a lot of social media. I don't personally use one management platform, so I find it's like I've got to post and I have to go to Facebook, Twitter, Google+, LinkedIn, Instagram, and it goes on, right? And it will keep increasing. It's a really good point. I think you would actually, for efficiency's sake, you'd probably select your platforms based on the tools that you have to manage them as well. Or at least it would weigh in on the decision. So if say there was a management application that included Instagram but not Vine, then you'd probably it's a lot more efficient to just use Instagram. You get better ROI because the cost is lower. But yeah, I mean, it's very much a sunrise industry, as we all know. So tools will catch up, but then social platforms will always keep evolving. I guess it's about the amount of money that you throw at social media and about the ROI that you're getting back from it. That would be the way to decide. That's why I emphasized a lot on this whole the ROI tracking per channel, because that's how you really get to define what you should and shouldn't be doing. And so, sorry, I'm going to talk a little bit. Yeah, so even when I'm proposing a project to a New Zealand client at the moment, and I want to try something, but I'm just not sure if it's going to work. So in my proposal, I'm just putting in a 1-month trial of that social network. And if it gives me the results, then I'll continue to invest in it. If it doesn't, then I'll drop it. So that's how I'd approach everything, is I would do a test, see if it works, and if it doesn't, then can it. Yeah.
This testing thing would also work on choosing which social media platform you would use for a certain brand, because we have a lot of clients who think that this certain social media platform would be good for their brand, although they don't really benefit much from it. How do you choose which social media platform for a certain brand?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So aside from testing it and just trying it out, not every brand has the luxury of testing something because there's a learning curve, right? So aside from that, I would look into best practices. So I'd look at similar brands and the success they've had off that platform. That would be my go-to answer, I think.
Thank you.
Okay, no problem.
All right, we'll have to cut it there at the moment, but they can reach you through Twitter.
Yes.
Yeah, on what handle?
It's Robin_AllFamous.
All right, that's it. Thank you, Robin Leonard, for your insights and sharing it with us today. Robin Leonard of AllFamous Digital.